The city needs to create a fair tax environment, but also the housing, the transportation, and the recreation choices that a modern company and its workforce need.
I think that Calgary needs to keep the communities vibrant. We need to invest in things that keep our communities creative. Art is one of those things, and it's top of mind for a lot of people right now, so it's probably one of the best examples to relate. But just keeping our communities vibrant. Also working with our post-secondary institutions to figure out what their trainings are in, where they're looking forward to provide new opportunities for students, and looking at ways to bring businesses in those sectors to Calgary.
The city's role in economic development, job creation has been the same for the last 50 years. Cities provide economies of scale, agglomeration, localization, infrastructure, and services. It is when cities make a commitment to providing these services efficiently with an entrepreneurial mindset when we start to see real change. It's when we will begin to attract quality personnel and innovative businesses whose work and products will scale, and that in turn will. This is a cyclical. This has the potential to have a telescopic effect and further increase innovation and additional job creation.
At the end of the day, I think it's about the quality of service that we're getting, and I know there's a lot of talk about privatization, and that is a huge concern in my mind. I think balancing taxes, we could maybe try to tie it to rate of inflation so that we're not going well above and beyond and having issues like we did this past year and having to reach into the rainy day fund for $45 million.
The general costs of government are 45% of the taxes collected, which is double the size of, which is double the amount what the city of Toronto spends on general government costs. We could, by shaving off a few percentage points there, we could find a lot of money. And also cities spend billions of dollars in procurement, and by adopting a lean and a nimble approach to capital project delivery and procurement, we can find additional money there, additional savings, additional cost efficiencies, which could be put to better use.
Well, I think our residents are okay paying reasonable tax for good services. But what we need to do now is we need to bend the cost curve on city services by focusing more of our development within our existing boundaries.
We should be committed to using existing infrastructure optimally. So the current Saddle Dome as it exists is fine. It can still hold 19,000 people. It's not crumbling. So, but I would definitely support a new and a modern arena, because this in turn would support a lot of quality construction jobs. But I want the mechanism for delivering this new arena right. I propose we set up a corporation not unlike NMAX, appoint an independent board of directors, and interface with CMLC, the Calgary Municipal Land Corporation, who have extensive experience doing land projects, leverage their expertise, let Calgary Flames be the anchor tenant in the new arena, let them pay market rent, no sops and props for them, just as there is no props and sops for the common guy.
Public investment in private sports facilities is rarely a good economic investment. I think the city has made a more than generous offer, but we have to see that operating model before we go forward in any way.
I'm very anxious to see what the Flames bring out this week, so I feel we have a piece of the puzzle that's missing. But based on the information we have, I'm quite surprised that they weren't okay with the offer that the city brought forth. Personally, I would have pushed for maybe some funding for the field house. That's been on the books approved for about 5 years and not had any funding put towards it. But it was included in the original Calgary Next proposal. So I'd like to find more ways that we can work together.
I actually think there's three issues. I think there's sensible spending. I think there's transportation choice, which means both the Green Line but also better crosstown links. And I also think we need better development. If I'm elected, I'll be an informed, reasonable, and effective advocate for our residents. I can work with others to get things done in Ward 4.
This one is difficult because Ward 4 is quite diverse. You have communities, all the way from Dalhousie and Edgemont down to Highland Park, Thorncliffe. So in those communities, it's the Green Line, it's development. In Edgemont and Dalhousie, it's also development, but in a very different way. So I kind of look at it as an all-encompassing thing where Calgarians right now are wondering what's next. What is it that's coming next with development? What's coming next with our infrastructure? So community to community, it varies quite a bit, but overall it's an uncertainty in the city.
One is the issue of secondary streets. The second one is pedestrian safety, minimizing automobile pedestrian collisions. So I propose that the matter of secondary streets be taken out of council hands. And on the matter of pedestrian safety, I mean, this is a message I've repeated often at various other avenues as well. The ability to no one is guaranteed the right to operate an automobile in Canada. It is a courtesy extended. It's not a privilege. It is a courtesy extended to the operator by the non-operator. A simple ad campaign iterating this message, I believe, will go a long way to minimize the automobile pedestrian collisions.